neon arc lights illuminate the Hollywood heavens, it's a sign of a premiere of a new and important motion picture. The largest premiere crowd in many years witnessed the Hollywood opening of Warner Brothers' production of Shakespeare's play, A Midsummer Night's Dream. Unusual interest was manifested in this Max Reinhardt production, and excitement ran high. The great and near great of Movieland, dressed in their best, turned out en masse to greet this new innovation in talking pictures. Flashlights popped. Radio announcers described the happenings to unseen millions. It was one of the most brilliant premieres in the history of Hollywood. What started all this? Why this excitement? Let's go back a year or so and find out. This is the famous Hollywood Bowl, where Max Reinhardt, the international theatrical genius, startled motion picture producers with his stage presentation of A Midsummer Night's Dream. So successful was this engagement that Warner Brothers immediately signed Professor Reinhardt to produce and direct A Midsummer Night's Dream for the screen. Then followed months of amazing activity, the likes of which Hollywood had never before experienced. A giant forest in which much of the action takes place was erected on a tremendous sound stage. Studio technicians toured miles of country, selecting unusually shaped trees for this forest. In it were placed birds and beasts, waterfalls and rivulets to give it realism. Reinhardt then selected no less than 20 of Hollywood's most popular stars to play the leading roles, including James Cagney, Joe E. Brown, Dick Powell, Gene Muir, Victor Jory, Hugh Herbert, Anita Louise, Ross Alexander, Marie Teasdale, Frank McHugh, Grant Mitchell, Olivia de Havilland, Mickey Rooney, and Ian Hunter. From Europe, Reinhardt brought Nina Theoladi to dance in the beautiful ballets, and Bronislawa Nijinsky to stage them. From Vienna came Erich Wolfgang Korngold to arrange the exquisite Mendelssohn musical score. A brilliant musician, a gifted composer, a man who wrote a complete opera when he was but 11 years of age. Here he is in his study, arranging a beautiful lullaby. In the forest, Frank McHugh is being instructed by a bear trainer how to get friendly with the animal, so it'll follow him when the director so orders. Not a very comfortable job, especially when the bear is in no mood to be friendly. To illuminate the gigantic sets required enough electricity to light a small city. So much heat was generated by these powerful lights, it was necessary to cool the stage after every scene. Gene Muir and Hobart Cavanaugh cool off in front of the big whirlwind fans. Before Reinhardt directs a difficult scene, he outlines every move of the players on a miniature of the set in which the action takes place. With him is William Dieterle, who directed the picture with Mr. Reinhardt. The great director then instructs the actors in the reading of the lines and the mood of the scene. Satisfied that everything is letter perfect, he returns to his seat beneath the camera and the scene is shot. What he has accomplished, both with the intimate scenes and with the spectacle, is truly breathtaking. Pictorial wonders that stagger the imagination and make A Midsummer Night's Dream a motion picture of unforgettable beauty. No wonder this great picture had the most brilliant premiere ever seen in Hollywood. No wonder thousands of movie fans jammed the streets and sidewalks. Here is Jack L. Warner, vice president in charge of production for Warner Brothers. And here is another Warner Brothers studio executive, Mr. Hal Wallace, with his charming wife, Louise Fazenda. Dolores Del Rio, gorgeously dressed, smiles her greeting. Among the famous names of music were Grace Moore, Madame Gallicurci, and the famous opera star Gladys Swarthout. The crowd goes wild as Betty Davis arrives and poses with her husband for the newspaper photographers. The Paul Munis say hello to Virginia Bruce and Cesar Romero in front of the theater. And that famous screen detective, Perry Mason, in the person of Warren William, has trouble finding his wife in the crowd. No, Warren, no, that's not her. Hollywood's most romantic bachelor, Lyle Talbot, with Paula Stone, one of Fred Stone's pretty daughters. One of Hollywood's luckiest girls, Olivia de Havilland, who was unknown to the movies until Reinhardt gave her an important role in A Midsummer Night's Dream. Now she's one of the most promising young stars on the screen. Now the crowd breaks loose to get nearer to their idol, Joe E. Brown. Wait till you see him in the picture. He's a positive sensation. Little Sybil Jason, one of the screen's most brilliant child stars. This is her first movie premiere. And that goes, too, for Freddie Bartholomew, who arrived dressed in an Eton suit, lapel flower and all. Hugh Herbert makes the crowd laugh with his funny antics. And here comes the Irish in us, the McHughes and the O'Briens, two of the grandest couples on or off the screen. The doors of the theater close, and the play Shakespeare wrote over 300 years ago becomes one of the miracles of the talking screen. A Midsummer Night's Dream, with its fantasy, its music, its comedy and romance. Truly a dream come true.